Welcome to the 3 for 3 podcast. I am Paul Teach Nelson.
Yes.
I am joined, as always, by Podfather Alex Gullett. And with you guys at home, we are 3 for 3. I got a question for you, Podfather.
What's up?
Do you believe now?
Man, do you believe?
Do you
Do
believe?
you believe?
I believe.
I believe.
Dion made believers out of all of us.
Man, unbelievable. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Unbelievable.
We are. We got a lot of stuff to go. Listen, we got a lot of football to talk about. It is finally that type of year. Going to see nephew play football, watching it. It's football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday is for the family.
Hey, Tuesday, Tuesday's for us to talk about football.
That's it.
And
Absolutely.
then Wednesday, it comes out for you guys to hear what we have to say about football. And so it's a win for everybody.
Listen, I know we're going to talk a lot of NFL. We got Podfather's predictions coming up.
We do.
Let's go ahead and go into the classroom, okay, for some teachable moments. All right. Let's look back at college football Saturday.
I love that.
Let's start with Utah, Florida. All right. That was a little starter course for us, right? No Cam Rising. No problem for Utah. I mean, they looked great against Florida. What were your thoughts?
Defense. I want to throw this out there really quick. It's the 5 sacks, right?
Yep.
So they were getting after the quarterback, plug in the middle. They were having a hard time running. As a matter of fact, I think Florida ran the ball 21 times for 13 yards.
It's terrible.
Not only that, but, Florida got to the red zone 4 times. 4 times in the red zone. And they come away with 11 points and 4 trips to the red zone. It goes to show Florida's not there yet. And Utah was able to capitalize.
Listen, Utah might be the dark horse darling of the Pac-12. Teachable moment, right? Lesson learned. The Pac-12 is wide open.
Pac-12 was
Pac-12,
wide open.
USC, Oregon, Utah, and there's another team creeping in there. Let's go. The second one, Dion's opener against TCU. Couldn't ask for a better start to the season. Dion in the Buffaloes. Listen, he's got Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Edwards.
Shiloh, don't forget Shiloh, led the team in tackles, 10 tackles, crazy.
What were your thoughts on that game?
So thoughts, first of all, rankings came out today, top 25. Colorado jumps to number 22. Crazy, leaping over Clemson, leaping over a couple spots. Crazy that 1-11 last year to top 25 after 1 week. So I have this, though. Special. And as a Cowboys fan, right? As a Dion lover, because I grew up in the 90s Cowboys, right? Love Dion, but he is prime time, and he's legit, and so is Colorado.
Listen, lesson learned. Dion's great at recruiting, all right? I think the best pickup for them was probably former head coach Sean Lewis.
Yeah, Sean Lewis was great.
He was a head coach at Kent State last year and decided, I don't want to be a head coach. I'll be Dion's OC. That's fine. And if you looked at Colorado, they were doing the same thing that Kent State was doing. Listen, lesson learned here, believe.
No, you have to believe. I want to tell you this. What I was most impressed with is Deion Sanders. Everybody sees the flash. Everybody sees the prime. Everybody sees the time. He's neon Dion. You know that squad had 6 total penalties in the entirety of the game. That's a well-coached program.
Discipline.
Yeah, well-coached. And I don't want to leave it without saying a couple of names. Travis Hunter, unbelievable, 140-plus snaps. Both sides of the ball, 111 receiving yards, a pick, a pass breakup. Shiloh led the team in tackles. Shedeur breaking the Colorado record with 500-plus yards.
Didn't take long. No. Now, as good as Colorado looked, LSU looked horrible. So LSU, FSU, the next teachable moment. Listen, LSU has quarterback problems. Jaden Daniels looks suspect. Yeah. Jordan Travis looked like he's a Heisman contender. He's up there. His name's being mentioned with Shedeur Sanders, with Bo Nix, with Sam Hartman, with Michael Penix, all these guys, right?
Yeah.
And Mike Norvell. It looks like Florida State, who went from 3 wins to 5 wins to 10 wins, they might be the best team in the ACC, especially after Clemson's loss. What do you think?
No, Florida State looked good. I want to go back really quick. You mentioned a name, Bo Nix. He's been playing college football since 2011. Shout out to Bo in Oregon really quick. Way to do it, old man. Appreciate what you're doing out there. So
5-year-old Bo Nix.
Yeah. So I had a couple. I tried to stay with 3 words really quick on our 3 and out, right? So I did Utah, defense, primetime, special. LSU, Florida State. I went bye LSU.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's good. Lesson learned here. Just don't give the other team bulletin board material. I don't know how many of us have to coach where you learn, just shut up. Just shut up and listen. Brian Kelly said the whole time, like, we are looking forward to beating Florida State. And sure enough, Mike Norvell put it on the bulletin board and said, hey, fellas, he's going to beat you. Now,
Brian Kelly's got his work cut out for him.
He
I want
does.
to ask you this really quick. I want to say this. Florida State, the chop, the knife, all of that stuff going on. We saw Virginia Tech. We saw Inner Sandman. The Coliseum's rocking. It's a mess out there. What's your favorite college entrance?
well, just tradition song, not even entrance. It's got to be Wisconsin Jump Around.
Okay.
I mean,
Right,
it's got. I'm sorry, it's got to be Jump Around at Wisconsin. Listen, they go absolutely crazy. I love Enter Sandman at Virginia Tech,
Yeah.
but give me Jump Around all
Hey,
day.
and as Virginia boys, it was pretty cool seeing Virginia Tech win. It was good to see them win.
It was. Listen, it was awesome seeing UVA lose. So that was good too. Speaking of losing, who's your upset of the week?
Upset of the week, I don't think we don't have to go far. We've already mentioned it. Upset of the week has to be unranked, unproven, unbelievable. One win all of last year. Colorado Buffaloes going into TCU and beating the number 17 Horned Frogs. Like, it was wild, it was crazy, it was fun, but it's just what I expected. And we predicted last week when talking about Colorado, they were going to be wild, they were going to be fun. And so that's where I'm going to go with that. I think that was probably most talked about and the most unbelievable.
Yeah, I think they still have a lot of work to do in the defensive side, but like you said, they're going to be fun. Colorado's going to be fun this year. My upset of the week, I'm going to stay in Texas. Baylor losing to Texas State in Waco. Listen, Colorado was 20-point underdogs, and they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Texas State was 26-point underdogs, okay? Listen, 2 years ago, they were 12-2. Went to a bowl game last year. It's going to be a long season for Dave Aranda if they can't turn it around.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I texted you last night. It was 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., 10:30. I said, Clemson is getting all they can handle from Duke, right?
Yes.
And you saw Duke walk away 27-7. Crazy.
Riley Leonard. Daniel Jones.
Sneaky athletic.
He's gritty. He's sneaky athletic.
Sneaky
Watch
athletic.
out for that. I do have some homework for you.
Okay.
So let me assign some homework. For this week, right? We got Ole Miss, Tulane. Can Lane Kiffin continue making the Rebels look like title contenders?
Oh, yeah.
I can give you a little Iowa State, Cyhawk game. Listen, I love rivalry games. And when you have a rivalry game this early in the season, nothing gets better than that.
Yeah.
Stanford, USC, how many times are we going to be able to see this now that conference alignment's changing? Probably never see this again. Auburn, Cal, Hugh Freeze, early test of the unbeatens. But really, let's go Texas, Alabama.
Yeah.
All right, that's kind of where it is. Is Jalen Milroe the next Jalen Hurts?
Is he?
I think he could be. Listen, he looked fantastic.
He did look good. He did look good.
They played nobody, but still, he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
So who do you have? What are you looking forward to this week?
And just for everybody, don't mind my confusion early on in the show. This is Teach's Moments, Teach's Classroom. Wasn't 3 up, 3 down. I accidentally said that, but I correct myself.
We'll finish with 3 now.
We will. But in Teach's Classroom, listen, I'm really looking forward to that Texas-Alabama game, right?
Yes.
I think both of those are top-notch. I think really, we talked about it last week, and I love revisiting prior discussion because we're often right? And so we said it like you said it last week. You said, look, don't shut the door yet on Nick Saban in Alabama.
Dynasty's not dead yet.
Not dead yet. They came, they showed out, right? And so I'll be interested to see what they can do against Texas. And of course, I'm looking forward to Colorado, Nebraska. I'm going to keep talking about it.
It's fun because you have Matt Rule going back to college at Nebraska.
Yeah.
And you have this hype train. If Deion loses this game, the season's not over. Like you're going to have tons of overreaction, but this is the perfect time for Deion to kind of put the foot on the gas, get even more hype, get even more recruits. Most underrated thing from this past weekend, though, listen, Deion got all the hype. My boy Trent Dilfer, UAB. They started with a win, too.
So you had Trent Dilfer get a win. Ed Reed. Did Ed Reed get a win?
I don't know. I didn't see.
We didn't check Ed Reed.
No,
so
we didn't
discussed this months ago, right?
Yes.
Leading up prior to the college season. And so we had Trent Dilfer on our radar, Neon Dion, of course, on our radar, Ed Reed on our radar. We love seeing these guys come in and
It's
start
just
coaching.
cool. The former players
Really
that
cool.
we rooted for and loved and hated and rooted against, now you're seeing them still involved in the game.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
really cool.
it's nobody could have predicted it, but we can predict is the NFL. And
we are going to predict.
We are going into your realm. We're heading off campus and into the locker room, into the stadiums where Podfather's predictions reign supreme. You got 3 predictions for us this week?
I do have 3 predictions, and I'm going to start it out really quick. So for just really quick Podfather predictions, we're not going to go with like some crazy, I'm not going to give you scores or anything like that. They're not going to be bold predictions. They're just kind of what I think may happen this week. Okay, so let's set the tone there.
What you know is going to happen.
I already know.
You got the script.
Movie. I've already seen the movie. We've been here before, so we're going to talk about this really quick. So I want to start with this: is that I believe the big 3 rookies, right? So we had 3 big rookies. I believe they're going to win a lot in the NFL. I really do. I just don't think they're going to win a lot in week 1. So I'm going to start with my Podfather predictions being that all 3 rookie starters lose in week 1. We have Young and Carolina going to lose to the Falcons. I think the Falcons are just a better team. I think they're run heavy. I think they're going to control the ball.
Talent.
And they're at home, right? And so I like the Falcons in that game. CJ Stroud and Houston, I think they lose to the Ravens, and I think they lose pretty handily to Baltimore. I think Baltimore, they're going to have a lesson learned this week.
3-quarter game.
Yeah, they're going to lesson learned this week. And then I went Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis. I like A-Rich. I've been talking about him, man. Hit the ceiling with the ball. But I think Jacksonville's going to take it to another level this year. Really like what Trevor Lawrence is. I think he could be in the MVP discussion later on in the year. So I'm going to go Jacksonville there. So the big 3 lose week 1.
I like it. The only thing I'll say is that Carolina defense is legit. If they win games this year, it's not going to be because of Frank Reich, and it's not going to be because of Bryce Young. It's not going to be because of Adam Thielen. It's going to be because that Brian Burns-led J.C. Horn defense.
Well, Brian Burns couldn't miss the week. We're still waiting for that, right?
Contract.
He very much could miss this week, which is why I went ahead and I said, I'm going to say it because there's a 50% chance he misses the week.
That's good. What's your second prediction?
Second one, I'm going to go here. This one's going to shock the world, but this is going to happen this week. I believe the Cleveland Browns are going to win the Battle of Ohio.
Wow.
I think Cleveland Browns week 1 beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Few reasons why. I think Joe Burrow still nursing an injury, not going to be at 100%. I don't know that I trust Joe Mixon right now. They lost Samaje Perine, who I thought was a great backup running back and able to fill the role. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, those guys are going to be great. And I even like Boyd, Tyler Boyd in Cincinnati. But I think Cleveland shows out this year. Myles Garrett has something to prove. He didn't win Defensive Player of the Year last year. Their defense is going to be stout. And I drafted Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, you
So
did.
my fantasy team name, What's Under That Towel? What's Under That Towel? Got Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper starting. Mari at my flex. I'm going to go Cleveland Browns. That's my second prediction.
That's good. I don't hate it. Football's weird, especially early in the season where you see these teams just jump all over the really good teams.
Yeah, I agree.
Prediction number 3.
Number 3, this is going to be really cool, really easy for me. I said the New Orleans Saints beat up on the Tennessee Titans to open the year, and they're going to cover the spread and win by 3. I love Derek Carr to New Orleans. I do. Tennessee, I think a lot of people are talking Tennessee hype train. You got Hopkins coming into Tennessee, Derrick Henry coming back off injury. Tannehill and Mike Vrabel, we know is a good coach, right?
Yeah.
But I think it is understated what Carr is going to bring to that New Orleans Saints team. As they were 7-9 last year, what it was 7-10 last year. Yep. Both were 7-win teams, but one of them started Jameis Winston.
Yeah. And Taysom Hill and the quarterback Andy Dalton.
Upgraded,
right?
Yeah, exactly. And so an upgraded quarterback this year substantially. I like them over Tennessee to cover the spread.
That's good. I think you had them winning the AFC South or the AFC South too. So listen, New Orleans is always a resilient team. I have a lot of fun there. NFC South. Yeah. Sorry. I think it's such a weak division that you go, if they sneak up on a couple teams this season, but Tennessee's tough. Tennessee is this is a fun early, can Ryan Tannehill bounce back?
They're grinders.
They are grinders, listen, we're here to help you guys win. All right. We're just giving you guys plenty of material. Okay. Yeah. You guys steer the ship. So let's throw some bets at them, right?
Hey, best bets, man. It's the world of best bets.
Best bets. What's your best bet of the week?
So best bets. Okay, I'm going to go best bet this week. I've been looking at it, and I've already put it in. I've already got it into my DraftKings already. I'm going to go Seahawks -4.5 at home versus the Rams. Listen, it is what it is. The Rams defense is a shell of itself. They're nothing like they used to be. And I think the Seahawks use this offseason to get significantly better. DK Metcalf's going to be another year better. They drafted that Smith.
JSN.
Smith. Yeah, the kid he's unbelievable. Tyler Lockett again is going to be better. They brought in Charbonnet, who I think could be a better back than Kenneth Walker.
I think you're right.
And so And they already had Woolen in the back end
Yes.
on that defense. They drafted another cornerback. I think the defense could be even better. So I like what Seattle's doing. I've already got them locked in 4.5, minus 4.5 on DraftKings.
That's good. That's good. Listen, football's weird. Football's weird in the early season. So I'm going to take it to the darlings. I had Detroit, right? The line is Detroit plus 6.5. Now, I think you could probably tease that up to 7,
You could,
just
yeah.
in case, right? Give me the lines to upset the champs. Kelsey, hyperextended knee. They're looking, they're waiting. I just think this is one of those weird Thursday night early season games where Detroit comes out with something to prove. Dan Campbell has guys ready to bite ankles. Detroit plus 6.5. See if you can get it to 7.
Hey, I like that bet. You know what? There is a such thing as a Super Bowl hangover.
There
There
is.
is such thing, and it may not last the entirety of the year.
No.
But those
Like-
guys that won the trophy may not come into the offseason the same way they did the year they lost
We're
it.
not talking all day.
Yeah, you
We're
know what I
talking
mean?
noonish. Hey,
Yeah.
get your egg sandwich in.
By 10:30.
A
You know
little
what I mean?
clamato action, a little hair of the dog, right?
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's. All right. So listen, we've given you 2. Let's go over to Monday night where
Yeah.
my Bills take on the New Jersey Jets. Bills are 2.5-point favorites. I know where I'm going. I'm going to eat the 2.5. Go Bills. I think Aaron does not compete well this year. What do you think?
I'm torn on this one, and I even told you that. I said I don't know. I think I agree. The reason I think I agree is because I don't like Dalvin Cook coming off an injury. I don't like Breece Hall coming off an injury. Also, Aaron Rodgers, I think it's going to be spectacular this year. I think Garrett Wilson's I think he turns into a top 5 to 8 receiver this year in the NFL. I think the kid's that good. We saw it last year. And Ohio State produces receivers. We already know
do.
that, which I hate.
The best one's still playing at Ohio State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. be a Cowboy next year, so we have to lose a lot of games for that to happen.
I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, but I think I'm good. I think I'm going to go Buffalo. I love the running back situation with Cook. I love, of course, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's probably the best running back on the team. Stephon Diggs. I love the addition of Dalton Kincaid. Like what they're doing there. So I'm going to go Buffalo also.
Like it. So we're 2 for 2. Let us know in the comments. Let us know everywhere if you think we could be 3 for 3. Pick Buffalo. We'll get with you guys next Tuesday and figure that out. Now, we had our fantasy draft this past weekend,
We did.
and it was great. It was glorious.
It was so much fun.
Every single person came out of there going, I love my team.
Yeah.
I love my team. I love everything about it.
I think I did send a trade like 8 minutes after no, it was the day after the draft.
No, I think you broke the ice that night.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I
Yes.
might have.
But still, why don't you give, again, you are the reigning, defending champion
I am.
of our fantasy football league.
Proudly.
Going for a repeat. Why don't you give, who do you want to start and who do you want to sit this week?
Yeah, so we'll go very quickly. And I didn't pick one for each position, but I had a couple of my favorites that I had. So I'm going to start off with defense, okay? I'm going to give you a start one, give you a sit one. So on the start, I went Commanders or Jaguars. I think both of those are a great start.
And in typical Podfather fashion, I'm going to give you a team. The Commanders or the
Jaguars. But here's what I say. Here's the reason why. I love their matchups, both of them. You know, one has the Cardinals, one have the Colts. The Cardinals all around are a mess. We already know that.
Never seen an NFL team tank until this year.
Yeah, I think who was it that said we can't throw the ball, we can't stop the.
Can't stop the run. Listen,
Yeah.
and Gannon's still trying to get them hyped up. Guys, you got to feel that fire. Dobbs has been there maybe 8 minutes, and he's got to feel that fire in his belly.
So they let go of Colt McCoy. They come in. Joshua Dobbs comes in. And listen, I don't think he was horrible last year. We saw him play, 2 quarters?
Yeah.
And so, but I don't like it. So I'm going to go Jacksonville or Commanders. We talked about Indianapolis earlier. I think Anthony Richardson going to be a good quarterback. I just don't know what's going to happen week 1. So I would start both of those teams. I want to sit down. I'm going to say this. Sit the Patriots this week. Do not start the New England Patriots this week. This is why. It's just not a great matchup. Okay, the Eagles are the Eagles, right? They were explosive last year, and I expect them to be somewhat better this year. They upgraded at running back with Penny. Rashad Penny could be the best vertical runner in the NFL.
Yes.
Right? Up and down the field. And then you throw in Swift, who is one of the better catchers of the football out of the backfield, and he's a home run hitter. And so I'm going to say this. I expect Jalen Hurts is going to hurt your fantasy football team if you start the New England Patriots this week.
And that defense, listen, the Eagles defense is not as good.
No, they're not.
Now, what that tells me is more fantasy points for Eagles quarterback, wide receivers, running backs.
Yeah, they're going to score more points this year. I think you're going to find them in some fourth quarters where they're going to have to throw the ball. We didn't see that last year
No, we didn't.
at all.
Nope.
Except the Super Bowl, and we saw how that worked out.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out kind of like that for Philadelphia this year, but do not start the Patriots.
All right, first position. What's your second position you want to talk about?
Second receiver, I went wide receiver. And I'm not going to give you guys the obvious. Everybody knows start Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, those kind of guys. But here's another one. If you're playing in another league, you got to start a third wide receiver, or you're playing a super flex or something like that. Look, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
Okay. Scary Terry could still be limping around.
Yep.
All right. They're playing Arizona, and not only are they projected to be the worst offense in the league, they're probably projected to be the worst defense also. They're just going to be a bad team. I think I saw somebody say they're projected to win like 4.5 games, and most people took the under.
Yeah, I think against the University of Georgia, I think they are 3.5 point underdogs.
Yeah, and
So
I liked what that is absolutely true. And I like what Dotson did in a couple games last year.
Yeah.
He showed out sometimes last year. So I expect him to take another step, and I like him a lot this week. Who I don't like this week,
okay.
any Steelers wide receiver. Don't play any Steelers wide receiver. Now, I like both of them. I like George Pickens. I like Deontay Johnson. I think both of them are going to have fine years. I don't think they'll be, top 8 wide receivers in fantasy, but I do like both of them. And I even drafted one of them. I drafted Deontay Johnson on my team. But San Francisco's starting the year, and San Francisco is going to be brutal for them. I don't like it. San Francisco gets after the quarterback. Kenny Pickett is still a young quarterback. And I'm not sure how much help Najee Harris is going to be week 1. We saw him last year. I do like Wallace, though.
Warren?
Yeah, not Wallace, but Warren.
Jalen Warren,
Yeah, I
And
do
these
like
state
Warren a lot.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Pittsburgh beats the 49ers this weekend.
No,
Just listen, I know it's wild. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
You are.
I love the picket fence.
Yeah.
All right, I love that O-line. So maybe we'll see. We'll see if you're starting to sit them. What about running backs?
So running backs, when we move on to running backs really quick, I have a start them on running back. I would start J.K. Dobbins. Again, I'm not giving you the obvious ones, but I am going to give you something that may help you out. J.K. Dobbins, welcome back, kid. Okay, so not only do I like J.K. Dobbins, is the guy's got some talent, but a new offensive scheme. Todd Monken, he's going to open that offense up. And I'm really excited to see what Lamar Jackson does in that offense. But I think J.K. Dobbins, I think he also benefits from the new offensive coordinator catching the ball out of the backfield, getting more open lanes to run in. You may see some more options, play actions coming off. And so there'll be some sneakier stuff going on.
Listen, I like it. J.K. Dobbins is a free elf for you Harry Potter fans out there. Boom. Dobbins is a free elf. Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
So you like starting him. Who do you want to sit?
Yeah, I want to sit any Jets running back. Okay, so we talked about that earlier. Both are injured or coming off injuries, and I just don't know that I love starting either one of them. Dalvin Cook still getting used to the team, getting used to the offensive scheme. Breece Hall, we know, was injured for sure. And everything's pointing toward a split backfield, at least for the first 6 to 8 weeks until somebody takes a commanding role or an injury happens, right? Dalvin Cook is often injured. But so is Breece Hall, right? So I don't know, but I would stay away from them week 1. I expect against Buffalo, you're going to see Aaron Rodgers air it out a little more. Then you're going to see them running the ball. Buffalo has a good, Milano is one of the best against the run. A great linebacker playing the run. I like what Buffalo does on defense against the run. So I would say sit any Jets running back. Don't rely on Breece Hall or Dalvin Cook this week.
Last I checked, you need a decent offensive line. And that's the one thing that the Jets are lacking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Excellent there. We'll tune in next week. We'll see who you have. And listen, all this advice is free 99. Okay, the price is right, baby.
It's free.
It's free 99.
Yeah.
So he's giving you gems. This is the champ.
Yeah.
You better listen to him. Help you win your league.
Did you have anything on that? Any fantasy advice for us?
Listen, we both know I have no my fantasy advice is just to send out wild trades. Send out. Listen, I went running. Listen, I went running back. Like we discussed, and everybody looked at me sideways. I picked your boy first. All right.
You did Tony Pollard.
I picked Tony Pollard with the 7th pick in the draft.
It's not a bad place for Tony Pollard.
It's not a bad place. But if I had the number 1 pick, I think I still would have went Tony Pollard.
That's crazy.
It might be
that is crazy.
Listen, I don't care. I'm not playing for second place this year. I'm either going to be the GOAT, or I'm flying that I suck at fantasy football flag at the house this year. It just doesn't matter. I might put it in the classroom.
No gray area.
No,
listen. I don't blame you.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's true.
Okay? You're not first.
Yeah.
You're last.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take it to the 3 and out. You guys know what we do. We always finish with a 3 and out. So the first one, we're going to read a quote, tell you who the quote's from. We're going to see if we agree or disagree with the quote. Make sure you guys comment at home, right?
That's right.
So the first one, we're going to go Shohei Ohtani, right?
Ooh.
So Shohei Ohtani's agent, Nez Balelo, I don't know if I'm saying that right. You don't know either.
I doubt it.
He says there's not a question in his mind that he's going to come back and he's going to continue to do both, meaning pitch and hit at a high level. Do you agree or disagree with Shohei's agent?
I agree. He's already had Tommy John surgery once, right?
True.
He came back and he's been at an extremely high level for the last how many years?
2 years.
Right? Yeah. So 2 years. So I think it's a different ligament. It's a different place in the ligament, right?
Well, it's UCL. It's the same thing that happened to him last time when they said he doesn't need surgery, he doesn't need Tommy John. They tried the stem cell with platelets, and then ultimately he needed Tommy John.
Yeah. So
that's what he's going to try and do again.
I expect him. Plus, in today's, it's not like back in the 80s and 90s. If John Smoltz or Roger Clemens had to have Tommy John, they were done.
Yeah, you're done for good.
I think right now with medicine the way it is and physical therapy and all the different things that they can do, they'll get him back up and running. It may not be this year. It may not even be next year. But, pitching at full force. But I think he's still, which is going to be weird because he's got that contract coming up.
He does.
He's got that contract coming up.
Listen, I get what you're saying. I'm going to disagree. I think it's time. It's time. He's going to DH next year. They already said that. He's going to continue to. He's going to pull the Kobe Bryant, right? I'm going to go to Germany and get platelet infused red blood cells injected into my arm. He's an otherworldly batter. It's time. Yeah, he's not going to get a $700 million contract. He's going to have to settle for that $450, $500 million.
Oh, that's sad.
It is. I know. It's rough.
Sad.
It's rough. He's not going to be the first $1 billion athlete that we have, but I'm going to disagree. So let us know who's right. Do you agree? Is he going to come back and pitch at a high level, bat at a high level, or is it time just to pack it in?
But I think, remember, when I say high level, it doesn't have to be the level he's on right now because he's at extremely high level right now. So high level is just high level.
Listen,
put the
high level. You just made high level mid.
No,
you did. You just made high level mid.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? If Travis Hunter's the 10th best cornerback in college football and the 10th best wide receiver, it's still high level. He just happens to be probably the first and the first.
Maybe
not better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Maybe no, he's not better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
We'll get to them in a minute. All right, the second one. Okay, you had some strong feelings about this. Let's go to Team USA basketball, FIBA basketball. Steve Kerr said the following statement. It doesn't ease the pain, the loss that we had tonight, but for USA basketball, it's a good thing to qualify for Paris, the Paris Olympics. They lost to Lithuania. Do you agree or disagree with Steve Kerr?
I think when you get served lemons, you make lemonade, right? So good for Steve Kerr. That's the coaching coming out. It's the positivity. But he's absolutely wrong. You lost to Lithuania. Okay, I don't care what you qualify for. The NBA is a largely American sport, okay? It is dominated in America the way that the NFL is dominated in America, the way that soccer is dominated in Europe. You know what I mean? And so I think that for him to say that is dismissing the letdown that was this championship team, this world team. It was I'm very disappointed, but that's what happens when all the young guys try to come together and do something. You need a couple old heads.
Yeah, you do.
Appreciate it, LeBron.
Well, two things. One, they beat Italy today, so they're heading to the semis. So they won in the quarterfinals. And two, I'm going to disagree with Kurt and you. I think basketball, yes, it is an American sport, but the two best players in the NBA are international, right? Giannis and Jokic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two best players. So
yeah,
but
you know what? That's like saying like NASCAR is a world sport, and then because
racing's a world sport. F1, baby.
It
Lewis
is.
Hamilton.
That was a bad analogy.
That was a terrible analogy. That's like saying soccer's not a European. Wait a second.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what I want to say is this. Okay, so yeah, Giannis, Luka, even right, Jokic, those guys are probably in the top 8, all of them, right?
Yeah.
But when the other 80% of the best players in the world are all American, you're not supposed to lose like that.
No, you're not.
You're not.
And I think all of us go ahead and throw our American flag hoodie on and just go, how dare you?
Yeah.
Like, we all take it personally.
Imagine if the 92 Dream Team had lost a game.
They did continuously in practice against each other.
To Michael Jordan.
Listen, when you had guys playing offense and defense on those teams, they were something else.
Yeah, they were
right.
crazy.
Speaking of somebody else who plays offense and defense, you've been alluding to
We
him.
haven't agreed once yet.
No. Well, no, I disagree with Steve Kerr. So we are 2 for 3.
Okay, we are 2 for 3.
We agree. We just don't agree
Steve
with
Kerr,
Kerr.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Listen, when he retires and goes ahead and just coaches full time for Team USA, that's fine. Let's talk about Travis Hunter. What did Coach Prime say? Well, he was asked. He was asked about Travis Hunter and the Heisman Trophy. So he said, he is him. I'm not going to do my Deion impression. He is him.
He is him.
We missed him on 2 deep balls. He
Yeah.
gets those 2 deep balls. The Heisman's in his crib chilling right now.
I love that halftime quote.
Are we 3 for 3 with Deion?
Let's talk about it. So let's talk about those who are in the Heisman running as of today when we realistically look at it.
Yep. So
You're looking at
the
Travis
quarterbacks
out of Florida
It's-
State.
Let's look at so it's 3 major quarterbacks, right? It's
Nix,
Caleb Williams, it's Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, and it's Jordan Travis from Florida State.
Yeah, those are the top 3.
Those are they're sitting at home going, I have the perfect spot for the Heisman Trophy. Then you have the dark horse candidates, right? Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
I think Travis Hunter has to be in
Bo
that
Nix.
conversation. Bo Nix, Sam Hartman, Notre Dame.
Yep.
I think these guys. So it's all these quarterbacks
And then Travis Hunter.
and then Travis Hunter.
Here's what I'm going to say. He's absolutely right. If Travis Hunter would have had 175 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick, a pass breakup, a few tackles, that I want to put in perspective what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
There's been a few two-way players that we've seen in the NFL or college football.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and name a few of them.
So you had again Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. He won a
Champ Bailey did a little bit. Georgia.
But Charles Woodson was the only one that did it at a very high level.
Correct.
Okay. He won a Heisman doing it. Okay.
Yes.
Went into the NFL, had a very successful NFL career as a cornerback.
Yes.
Didn't play receiver in the NFL.
No.
Deion Sanders played cornerback in college. Came into the NFL, wanted to play some wide receiver, came to Dallas because Jerry said, yeah, we'll let you play wide receiver, whatever. Came to Dallas, won 2 Super Bowls in Dallas, played wide receiver. He gets it. We've seen 2 sport athletes. We've seen Deion play
Bo Jackson.
football, baseball. Bo Jackson, football, baseball. Yeah. We've seen some of that. But somebody to play 140 snaps of a single game and play it at an elite level.
Yeah.
Both positions. Deion said after this, he said he could be the number 1 draft pick on defense.
Yes.
Or on offense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're not mentioning Marvin Harrison Jr., who had a subpar game because of the quarterback.
But do we have enough sample of Travis Hunter yet?
I don't think we do, and I think that's why I disagree with Deion. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think you can play 120-plus snaps both ways at a high level, at a Power 5 level. Now, I also disagree with when Deion was saying, like, nobody believed in us, nobody believed in Travis Hunter, and you go, he was the number 1 recruit.
He was.
Like, he was the
recruited
number 1
by Florida State. Recruited
he had Power 5 offers, and he chose to take an alternative route and head to Jackson State.
Yeah.
And then follow you to Colorado. So this idea, listen, everybody has this chip on their shoulder. You have to have that bulletin board material.
Yeah.
But to think that this guy is just coming out of nowhere, he's not Bobby Boucher.
He's not. He's not Rudy. He's not Rudy.
No, he's not playing for the Mud Dogs. Like he's not. No, he's not leading the Mud Dogs from the Barton Bowl. No, he's not. He is him. He is him.
He is him.
I would love for this to continue though, and for Deion and that coaching staff to get very tricky and find the most important 80 plays for him.
Yeah.
And him to just ball out because we saw. If you give him a little bit of space and separation, 1, he's either by you on offense, or 2, he's grabbing the ball on defense, taking it the other way.
That play in the end zone that he came back to the running back, he came off of his receiver. They saw the double slant. So you had one, they had the linebacker switched off and they went over, they all passed the receiver around, and then he made the play on the running back. That was absolutely incredible, but that's coaching. That's instinct, but it's also Deion Sanders coaching. And so, because we saw the exact same thing, I forget who was breaking it. It might have been Acho breaking it down. I saw a little thing on it, and the exact same thing happened. Colorado ran the same play. TCU didn't switch the receivers, and then they had a free touchdown there. So what I'm trying to say is that Travis Hunter is going to benefit from coaching. Also, great coaching. You saw those coordinators are great. We already saw that in this game, right? And so Travis Hunter, I'm going to say if he makes those two, he's the favorite. He's still not the favorite this week, though. Even if he made those two plays, he's still not the favorite.
Is he who you want to win the Heisman, though?
No, I love quarterbacks winning the Heisman. I'm going to go Shedeur Sanders.
I knew you were going Shedeur Sanders. You jumped all aboard. Hey, he should be not only the Heisman winner, but the Dallas Cowboys should trade up to go ahead and pick him with the first pick in the draft.
I tried to draft him in fantasy football, but he wasn't available in the picks. But I want to say
we would have let you. We would have let you make that pick.
I would have picked him at number 4. I did have the 4th pick. But listen, here's what I want to say. The reason I say Shedeur Sanders is because we didn't witness out of this game elite athleticism, which I know he has.
Yes.
We didn't witness him breaking the pocket, scrambling around, making some crazy play, running it for 50 yards at a clip. Nothing like that.
Time
it wasn't the Caleb Williams-like show.
No.
It was him making the right play over and over and over. That's instinct. That's decisiveness. That's quarterback smarts. That's understanding football. It's understanding the progression, understanding the play. So the reason I say Shedeur is because I think it's way more complicated to play quarterback in the NFL than any other position in sports. Right, I'm not saying it's harder to hit than hitting a baseball, but it's the hardest position to play in sports. You have to know so much, read so much prior, and then inside the play.
I would argue and say catcher in baseball, but okay. I would argue. Listen, I would argue and say catcher in baseball is harder, but okay, yeah, I get what you're. Look, the guy who I think is going to win it, if I'm putting my money down, give me old man Sam Hartman from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think he's going to sling it. This is an awesome time to watch college football just because there are so many great quarterbacks. There are so many great teams. And at some point, they're all going to beat each other up.
They are. Who's the oldest guy to ever win a Heisman?
Ooh, I don't know.
It would be Bo Nix if he wins it this year. I think he's 37.
Listen, he's collecting AARP. He's collecting Social Security checks. Bo Nix, we'd love to have you on. Okay,
absolutely. Yeah, Bo Nix just got a handicap ramp installed at the apartment. Listen,
listen. Everything we're saying is great. We love this. We'll check in next week for Teachable Moments. We'll have Podfather's predictions.
Week 1 updates, bro.
Listen,
how about them Cowboys?
Listen, hopefully by this time next week, the Cowboys are 1-0, the Bills are 1-0, and we're in a good mood. If not, tune in because we might be going through this tape.
We know what the episodes do if the Cowboys lose.
Yes, it's devastation.
I go into a panic, a depression.
It's bad. So for the Podfather Alex Gullett, I'm Paul Teach Nelson. And remember, if you're going to be with 3 for 3, you have to believe. Just believe.